They play the same damn song every time. It's a bar. There's supposed to be more than one or two songs. Anyway, I'm Jordan. And you're not. And this is my top 10 favorite Dark Shadows characters. So every 5 months or so, I have to keep returning to the shadows. Alright, my top 10, I'm going to do this in order. I'm going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 10 is Sheriff George Patterson, played by Dana Elgar. I don't know, he was, for what, he has authority. He just seems like he's a very decent sheriff. He wants to do what's right for his community, for Collinsport, and trying to get the job done. He's mostly there during the Bill Malloy murders, and then he gets replaced later with someone else who didn't have the same zing as Dana Elgar did. Number 9, the cross-dressing wedding dress skeleton, who could be seen during the Dream Curse story arc, because all these people go into this dream sequence and they come across this skeleton who's wearing a wedding dress, and it laughs, but more womanly, not like creepy Jordan Powell. So yeah, that's a great character. I love that skeleton. That skeleton is a character all itself, and it needed more screen time. Know what I'm saying, cuz? All right, number 8. I'm reading off of paper over there. That's why I'm looking over there. I'm cheating. Number 8, the ghost of Jeremiah Collins. Now, I'm not talking about the guy who played the Burke Devlin wannabe and then who played Jeremiah afterward. I'm talking about his replacement, the replacement of that replacement, and who had bandages all over his face. This was after Barnabas shot him during a shoot-off, or a standoff, whatever. And he had like bandages and scars all over his face, and he was talking, but his face was like that. He was pretty creepy, and I thought it was pretty grotesque looking and pretty awesome looking. Number 7, Victoria Winters, because without her we wouldn't have all this fun and adventure together, because she's the one who starts off her adventure trying to find out who she is. She never does, by the way. She never finds out who she is. But later, there's this interview of Joan Bennett saying that Elizabeth Stoddard was supposed to be Victoria's mom. So she was just leading her on the whole time. Nice parenting, Elizabeth Stoddard. Good job. Okay, so yeah, Vicky is like, she's like Harry Potter, only like a womanly Harry Potter. She goes through all this crap, and she's trying to figure out everything that's going on, and she tries to stop it as she's going along. And then in the end, she ends up getting replaced by another actress who has a sloppy kiss that I heard about. One of my Facebook friends, Sarah, told me that there's like a sloppy, disgusting kiss that she has with Jeff Clark, Peter Bradford. But I missed it. So if you can find this episode for me, find it and tell me which one it is. There's 1,225. I'm not going to go back and watch the whole thing just to find it. But also, we get to the Leviathan storyline, and they say that Jeb, who the whole Leviathan cult leader thing is, that he just supposedly kills Victoria Winters back in the day. And they never show or explain why, and they just leave it like that. They just say that Vicky's dead. Bullshit. Number 6, Professor Stokes, played by Thayer David, who also plays Matthew Morgan and Ben Stokes? He plays a billion characters. He's like the Wizard of Oz of Dark Shadows. Ben Stokes, Matthew Morgan, Sandor, Count Petofi, Victor Ben Gibbons, and probably someone else, but there's too many. Professor Stokes is very interesting to me because he knows every single thing that everyone needs to know about cults and demonic possession and seances and the devils, witches, vampires, werewolves. He's your go-to guy if you need help on anything of like, you know, Satanism and all that crap, black magic. He is your guy. He knows all about that, and he looks like he's, you know, he's a respectable kind of guy. You know, he looks, you know, has his hair slicked back, looking all badass and everything, and he knows everything. He knows. Yeah, just call him up. Just be like, hey, I need help with the trying to. Screw it. I messed up my own joke. Just like Dark Shadows. I'm going to keep going on. But just, yeah, he was a very intriguing character who knew everything about anything. Just, he's your go-to guy. Number 5, Garth Blackwood. Never heard of him? Well, he's only in there for 5 episodes. He needed a lot more episodes and a lot more screen time. Alright? Because Garth Blackwood is like the weird, possessed, demonic, psychotic Judge Dredd of Dark Shadows. He's drawn by Charles Tate in the 1895 storyline, and he was supposed to have been like this crazy prison guard in England who comes after Aristide. Yeah, Aristide was a character that was like with Count Petofi. So he just kind of goes around chasing Aristide with his chain, kind of has a bow leg or kind of weird leg, and he kind of drags it along. If I ever cosplay, I'm going to cosplay as Garth Blackwood. If they made a Garth Blackwood anime at an anime convention, because everyone loves anime with Dark Shadows, because Dark Shadows is based on an anime, I would watch it. I would read every single comic book, or manga, whatever they're called, because Garth Blackwood rules. Number 4, Adam. Now, Adam is the Frankenstein monster created by Dr. Lang right after Victoria comes back from the 1795 storyline. Or is it 1797? I don't know. They couldn't get it right. They kept changing it. There's 7 billion inconsistencies in Dark Shadows. What's up with that? Anyway, Adam is the Frankenstein monster created by Dr. Lang. I only liked Adam in his beginning stages when he couldn't talk and he was just like, you know, Frankenstein. The Frankenstein monster, if you want to be more accurate, I'll make a big deal out of that. And yeah, he was very interesting, and he was, you know, Barnabas had to protect him. He was, you know, had to try to control him. But eventually he learned how to talk and think for himself, which everyone hates. I mean, you know, don't you just hate that when people think for themselves? Yeah, he talks, and then he wants to put another woman's life force so he can have a mate for him. He wants Carolyn, but Carolyn's a woman. He wants to try to tap that, but he can't. Carolyn friend zones Adam. What a bitch. You suck, Carolyn Starter. What's the matter with you? Adam loves you. He's being nice to you. And you friend zoned him. So if he was a douche to you, you'd be all over him. Women. Girl logic. Alright, number 3, Nicholas Blair. That guy he's a breath of fresh air. Alright, after all this, you know, Adam storyline and Eve, well, his mate, and it just kind of gets boring and slow and kind of you just want it to go on. In comes Nicholas Blair, a warlock who says he is Angelique's brother, and he is very intriguing and interesting and charming as hell. I loved him. And he wants to kind of control Adam, tries to get in on him, but he always, I conjure a spell. Nah. He has like a mustache, kind of, like if he twirled it, he can do nah, like that. Number 2 is Burke Devlin. I loved Burke Devlin. In the beginning episodes, someone is breaking into my house. Burke Devlin was the original OG of Dark Shadows. He's like the J.R. Ewing of Dark Shadows. He's very interesting and mysterious and intriguing, and you don't know what his end game is. And you know, he's after Roger Collins, because years ago Roger Collins said that Burke was, you know, he was the one that did this manslaughter, was in this manslaughter case, and he framed Burke Dillon, and for that Burke Dillon comes back and he wants revenge against Roger and his whole family. So he tries to take Collinwood, and he tries to get all their people, and yeah, but this I like. What's his name? Shoot, I'll think of it later. Mitchell Ryan. I like Mitchell Ryan's performance of Burke Devlin. I don't like the other guy. The other guy sucks. I like Mitchell Ryan. Mitchell Ryan is the real Burke Devlin. If I ever make a Dark Shadows movie, I'm going to get Mitchell Ryan to come back as Burke Devlin, even though he's older now. And my number one favorite character is, of course, Barnabas Collins. Because without him, the whole show or the whole thing would just probably fall apart, and I wouldn't be here today. And if it wasn't for Tim Burton's Dark Shadows, I'm looking at my poster over there, Dark Shadows poster. All right, these are my top 10 favorite characters, and maybe in another 5 months or so, we'll have my top 10 least favorite characters.